day 4 and you are still with me. I'm so excited for you. God's going to bring a breakthrough in this relationship or in this issue, whatever it is that you're looking for peace in. If you're having a disagreement with somebody, if you're just trying to wrestle through all of the many issues and opinions and important topics that are swirling around in our world right now, I believe God's going to give you a breakthrough. And so far, we've talked about 3 things. We talked about checking your heart, that's step 1. We've talked about listening to understand, that's step 2. We've talked about writing out your rough draft and laying it out in front of God, all in an effort to disagree agreeably, to learn how to have peace, make peace with people. You don't have to see eye to eye to walk hand in hand. We can be people who disagree and still love. Love is the goal, not sameness. Love is the goal. So step number 4 today is pray for a peaceful opportunity. That's what I want you to do. I want you to start praying for an opportunity to make peace, whether it be with somebody at work or somebody in your home, whether it be with, maybe it's a group of people, maybe it's an ideology. How do you make peace instead of war, really? And so pray for a peaceful opportunity. Ask God to line things up. And we're going to talk about this. I want to kind of relate it to something the Apostle Paul said in Colossians chapter 4. Very interesting thing. He was talking to the Colossians and he said, I want you to pray for me. I want you to pray for me that God will give me opportunities to speak about his mysterious plan concerning Christ. He says this in Colossians chapter 4, verses 3, 4, and 5. He goes, pray for me, I'll have an opportunity. In other words, we can't just assume that just because something is on my mind or heart, that I just have to go, boom, lay it on somebody. Half of the problem that we have in making peace is timing and readiness. If someone else is hungry, if they're angry, if they're lonely, if they're tired, that spells out the word halt, H-A-L-T. If they're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, we should halt. We should stop. We should say, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stop. And I'm going to wait for the right time, for God to bring a peaceful opportunity. Paul says in verse 4, he says, pray that I'll proclaim this message clearly as I should. Sometimes it's our words, right? We start to talk to somebody, it's like, blah, and it just gets messed up, and we come off angry or we come off defensive. But Paul's going to pray that it's going to come out right. And then in verse 5, he says, live wisely among those who are not believers and make the most of every opportunity. He's talking about evangelism. I'm talking about conflict resolution. But I think the principle is there. We got to live wisely, make the most of every opportunity. So start praying for peaceful opportunity. I also like James chapter 5, verse 16. What an incredible verse to remember. It says this, it says, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. He's talking about if there's something wrong and we've offended somebody, that we confess. He says the earnest prayer of a righteous person has great power and produces wonderful results. So start praying now for a peaceful outcome and a peaceful opportunity. And I know that God is already at work. I'm praying for you today, and I know that stuff is starting to untangle already. And we do not have to see eye to eye, to walk hand in hand. God's about to bring some restoration into your relationships, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you tomorrow.